Hello students, today I shall be discussing the topic reading. As we all know that the communication skill has basically 4 components: the reading, writing, speaking and listening. In my last video, I had already discussed about one of the components of communication skill, which is writing, giving a brief idea about paragraph writing. Today I shall be dealing with reading, what is reading and the reading skill and how to improve your reading skill. Now first, what is reading? Reading is a complex cognitive process of decoding symbols to derive meaning. When I say complex cognitive process, it means that the process of reading involves several sub-processes like thinking, understanding, interpreting and perceiving. So when I'm reading something, simultaneously I have to think about what I'm reading, and along with that I have to understand or interpret the meaning of what has been written that I'm reading. When I'm thinking about it, I'm actually decoding it, or you can say that I am trying to extract or derive the meaning of the words that I am reading. And finally, when I am able to understand or derive the meaning, there is certain perception which is developing in my mind about the matter or the material that I am reading. Reading is a means for learning a language, communicating and sharing information and ideas. It is a thinking process because whenever we are reading, there is a thought process going on in our mind where we are subsequently or where we are simultaneously also interpreting the meaning of the words and developing or analyzing it and creating our own perception about the matter. The main purpose of reading is to understand the text. Reading is also a receptive skill because it helps to receive information. But the complex process of reading also requires the skill of speaking, because when we are reading a material or a matter, if we speak whether softly or loudly, there are 2 advantages of that. One, it helps to pronounce each word in a better way, so we learn how to pronounce better. And the second thing is that when we are hearing our own voice when we are reading, it helps in interpreting the matter more quickly. Now next we come to what is the purpose of reading. The purpose of reading is to connect the idea on the page to what you are already to what you already know. If you don't know about the subject, then you pour words of text into your mind, and this is just like pouring water into your hand. Like for example, suppose if I am reading 7, 8, 2, 5, 6, 9. Just reading it, okay? This is hard to read and remember, because when we are reading something simultaneously, some part of our reading is also being we are remembering also simultaneously. But if I say 7, 5, 1, 6, 3, 2, 4, 9, 7. So this is easier because there is chunking, or we are dividing the numbers into groups, and so a rhythm is created and we are able to remember it also easily. Now if I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it is much more easier to read because of the prior knowledge and the structure that we have in our mind. Now let us come to what is reading skill. Reading skill is the ability to understand written text. This skill should be developed at the early stages of schooling because it is the key to future success in both school as well as life. Now there are basically 4 types of reading skill. One is skimming. Now skimming means it is just reading. That means we are just superficially going through the main points, or we are shortlisting what those items which we want to read. So superficially going through the matter is to identify those areas of interest or those things which I want to actually read, is known as skimming. The second one is the scanning. It involves getting your eyes to quickly look across sentences. So here I am just not reading the headlines or the main topics. I am also reading few sentences which are there within these topics or headlines, okay, in order to get the piece of information. For example, scanning a tour guide book while visiting a historical place. The third type of reading skill is the intensive reading. Now, intensive reading, as the word suggests, is a thorough reading. That means it involves detailed reading and is time consuming. This type of reading improves our vocabulary and knowledge. So, students should go for intensive reading for the purpose of examination. Now, the last type of reading skill is the extensive reading. This reading is basically done for leisure. Means when you are reading a book or a novel or a sports magazine or an article on Bollywood, you are doing this because you have interest about that topic. So such kind of reading is known as an extensive reading. It requires fast decoding and assimilation of the text and content in front of the reader. If the text is difficult for the reader, it has to the reader has to consult the dictionary to find out the meanings of the words, then this reading will be of no use. That means there will be no fun reading such kind of things. So this will no more be an extensive reading. Thank you.